I'm Christina.
And I'm Christine. Welcome to Stereo Thematica.
Music is the heartbeat of our lives and the connective tissue of our friendship. Christine and I met at work in LA, but when I moved to Texas, we started a weekly challenge. Pick a song that fits a chosen theme.
This game opened us to new perspectives on each other and deepened our understanding of the songs that shape our lives. Each week, we recreate the magic of our song exchange on a broader scale.
Christine, is it true? Are the rumors true? Did
Yes.
we beat Pod Fade?
We did it! 8th episode. We beat Pod Fade. It's official. Congratulations.
Everyone said we couldn't do it, but we did it.
I know. And we have so much more content. And I think it grows every day because of all the listeners that are giving us such great ideas for even future themes. So thank you guys.
Thank you. And this is important for us to share that this is the first episode we've recorded in the new year. And as such, it's our first chance to thank our listeners for engaging with us, for sharing their songs, for rating us 5 stars on your favorite podcast platform, and for leaving us reviews. But most of the reviews I think we've been getting have been direct,
Yes.
from the source, which we
Text
really love and
messages.
appreciate.
No, it's been very fun to hear about your own conversations that you're having with your family and friends in your carpools, just how these themes are sparking your own discussions about music and I think bringing some joy to y'all. So that's exciting, and please keep sharing with us.
Yes, please, because we all need a little bit of joy right now. It has been a bit of a hard time already in 2025. So again, thank you for being part of this community. And if you love it, be sure to share it with a friend and subscribe so you don't miss an episode.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know, we are pulling from the archives because we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary of playing the game.
Yes.
In a couple of months.
April 9th.
April, yeah. But it's been fun. And speaking of which, this week's theme, I'm just gonna get right into it. It's very much I think, product of our game playing in that after a while, it gets a little bit hard, in my opinion. I know you said you've got a long list of themes that you've just got ready to go, but every now and then I'll come up with one that's pretty random, and this is one of those. So I picked a long, rambling theme, which is instrumental song that could have been a radio hit. Really easy, right, Christine?
Yeah, and it stressed me out because, what exactly is a radio hit? But do you want to get into what you were thinking when you proposed this theme?
I mean, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I really pay attention to the lyrics and songs. I'm not always getting the meaning right, but I am listening and kind of saying, what does that mean? Or what are they saying right now? And it can be a little bit distracting if I'm doing chores or driving. Sometimes you just want to tune out. So I really love listening to instrumental music. And there's not a lot of recognition in, I can just scale back and say US pop culture for instrumental songs. And so that made me think about what popular songs are instrumental. And while there have been some in the past, this theme is more about what's a really good song to you that could be a radio hit? So I like a lot of instrumental heavy bands. Speaking of one really good song that I think one of my favorites, which I didn't pick for this because it was radio hit, is Booker T and the MGs, Green Onions.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs.
That's a classic.
It's so good. But Khruangbin, the Ruggy Nuggets, Coco Roco, Surprise Chef, there's a lot of instrumental bands that I think are they're killing it, but they aren't necessarily, getting that radio airtime. And I definitely wasn't thinking of classical music because I love the thought of back in the day, those toe tapping hits or, something have you heard the new Bach? I'm not very well versed in classical. So this was more of what's poppy or could be popular or, successful enough. So that was where I was approaching this from. How did that land with you?
Well, I think what happened was that's kind of what I imagined, but then you're always so generous and you tell me it's up to my interpretation of it. So I do appreciate that. But the problem with up to my interpretation of something, I then truly I take that literally and will do what I want to do. Just thinking about some of the instrumental songs over the years. You already mentioned Green Onions, of course. There's Jessica from the Allman Brothers, Led Zeppelin's Moby Dick, Metallica, Eruption, Van Halen. I mean, that's a very sensible 1 minute and 40-second instrumental song, and it's like all Eddie Van Halen guitar solo. It's one of my well, not favorite. It's not a favorite song, but I do enjoy it. Is Jack White's Highball Stepper. Do you know that one?
I actually don't know. I need to look that one up.
It's very powerful, and it feels like there's a voice in there
Hmm.
singing, but it's just the music of it. It's quite beautiful, but also very intense and like extreme sporty. So it doesn't seem like a song that I would like at all. And then, of course, like practically every Rush song in my mind is instrumental, but
Mm.
actually they only have like 8 officially, if you don't count their live albums and all that. But I'm curious, have you ever had a boyfriend who loved Rush?
No, thank God.
Okay.
I actually don't know Rush very much at all. Are they the ones who did Tom Sawyer?
Yes.
It feels like a really annoying band to me, no offense to
No,
anyone.
no, and I feel the same. I'm guessing then having a boyfriend who loved Rush is a Gen X thing
Mm.
because I feel like everyone I know around my age had a boyfriend that was obsessed with Rush. Shout out to my Rush obsessed first
Aw.
boyfriend. But yeah, so none of these, aside from like Highball Stepper, which weirdly I like, I'm not a big instrumental fan.
Hmm.
And the instrumental music I like, I mean, not for what you would consider a pop hit or a radio hit. I, of course, love jazz, classical, tango, and I don't want to spoil my pick, but there's like some amazing Ethiopian music of the 70s that could be considered pop and
Mhm.
definitely should be radio hits. So,
And that's funny because I feel like it would take a real music lover to be like, "Ooh, I bet she's gonna pick," and then it's your song with
I, w-
that
I,
giveaway.
yeah, I wonder. I don't think anyone's going to get this because it just doesn't quite meet the theme in the right way.
Listeners, write in. Let us know if you guessed
Yeah,
Christine's
please
pick.
do.
But speaking of Ethiopian music, gotta give some
Yes.
love if anyone noticed our intro outro music. It's a track called Addis Ababa, and the artist is Eshi Era. We're lucky to find this beautiful Ethiopian inspired piece on our quest for some royalty free music, and that was a kind of a fun experiment that we dove into. Just all the musicians out there who have created something that's like specifically to be used for content, like online,
No, we
whether
were
it's
so
video or
lucky with
audio.
this one. This
Yeah.
and have you heard a lot of positive feedback? A lot of people are like, this song is in my head.
Oh, that's funny. No one said anything to me about it.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of a few people have mentioned how much they enjoy that.
Nice.
So, Christina, tell me about your pick.
Yeah. So in my head, I was thinking, what's a really great instrumental song that I would love to hear on the radio, something like that. And to me, that was, please help me with my French as always, Christine, La Femme d'Argent. Is that right?
D'argent.
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 It means like the silver woman, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's by Air. I have known this song for a long time. I don't know the first time I heard it, but it gives me like a very early 2000s vibe. And it's so fun. Moon Safari. Yeah, it was released in 98 and it had 3 singles on it, which I'm sure some of our listeners may be very familiar with. So, All I Need, Sexy Boy, and Kelly Watch the Stars, which is like I truly love that song, but it's very like vocoder heavy and fun. But this album, I love it. It's like funky French pop with a lot of different instrumentals and yeah, La Femme d'Argent. It
D'argent.
wasn't d'Argent. Oh my God,
Sorry.
why? Why am I so bad at this? It's my lack of French language skills. It wasn't a single, but I do feel like it could have been because it has like a truly iconic and just to me a very, I don't know, something very stately about it and
Yeah.
important. So one of the band members, Nicholas, oh gosh, here we go,
Godin.
Godin. Let's call him Nicholas. He said of the track, it could only be at the beginning or the end of the record, except that it was too good of a track to be last, and so it was first. But I did need to fight for it. A lot of people wanted to put Sexy Boy first, which is
Yeah.
funny because that to me, this is a beautiful opening song for an album. I don't know, there's something about it. It just feels like you know that scene
It
in
really is.
Willy
Mm.
Wonka where they're like eating the bubbles and they're like floating up to
Oh,
the
yeah,
top. That's
yeah.
what it gives me, those kind of
Uh-huh.
vibes of just floating and kind of being in space. And
Yeah, no, I love that.
but going back, like, do people take that into consideration anymore? We live in this era of like not listening to an album start to finish.
I think the thing about listening to an album from start to finish is you need to actually be listening to the vinyl. Like,
Mm,
it's just too easy to skip a song if you're not like that into it.
that's true.
So, like, I think with vinyl makes you sit down, listen to it, pay attention to the lyrics, and have this entire experience that is I think the way it was intended by the artist, usually, like, to listen to it in a certain order of songs. And we'll I know we have a couple themes coming up that deal with this, but no, there is something very important about what was first, what was last, what comes in between, and why is it in this order. It's always fun to like kind of think about when you're listening. But I feel like in general, our listening culture is more like on the go, skip a song,
Yeah.
ADD, like, oh yeah,
Or
I've heard this already. I'm bored of it.
or just listen to the singles, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Which I feel like that happens more and more. Even like, I use Spotify, and when you go look at an artist's page on Spotify, they'll give you their like top 10 hits or maybe even top
Yeah,
5
well,
hits. And then it feels a little bit like, oh, annoying. But I'm with you. And yeah, I can't wait for our future episodes with skips and no skips. But one of the fun things about this song is that it's an instrumental song that uses like lots of different instruments. And it doesn't, to me, feel like, even though it's 6 minutes long, or is it
yeah.
7? I
Is
actually
it?
think it's 7 minutes
No, it's
long.
7 because this is the 6.
Yeah. So it's just like this just amazing synth, really incredible synth solo, like right at the end. Super, super funky bass. And yes, I love that they're using, piano and organ, tambourine, moog, a
No, it's so
chord,
cool. It's
MS-20. What, have you heard of that even?
No, I don't know
Chord?
what that is. I mean, I've I've looked it up since, but I don't know offhand what that was. I didn't know what that was. It's cool. That's what matters.
Yeah, but it's fun to see them, yeah, just have that much knowledge, like musical knowledge, and being able to marry it all together into a really beautiful sound. And that way, I love this song, and the instrumental element feeling very complex while also
Yeah.
really fun. Not challenging to listen to, so easy to listen
Mm-mm.
to.
No, and you're right. I mean, it's a long song for sure, close to 7 minutes, but not at all. Every I will say this: every minute of that song, every second is beautiful and it all
Mm.
absorbing. So I do really appreciate this pick. It's weird. I've liked Air for a long time. Just I'm not in love
Mm.
with the music, but I do love like it's. It's weird. I love it, but I'm not in love. And I do think it's great for a dinner playlist
Mhm.
because of the kind of the reason you talked about earlier. Like it's not that distracting because for a lot of the songs, there's no lyrics. I actually had it on a dinner playlist last year and two women stopped like in the moment we're listening to it and they stopped to share their love of it and
Nice.
their first experience hearing
Oh,
it. So that was kind of cool.
which song do you remember?
No, it was this song. It was
Ah,
your song.
okay. That's exciting.
No, I
I
know.
love that.
Yeah, that was very cool. And did you know, and I wonder if they were touring, but last fall, 2024, they were actually at the Orpheum Theater
Oh my gosh.
doing the entire album.
See, I would have gone.
Yeah, so like, but this is me in concerts again. Like, I remember getting the update on bands in town and thinking, oh my God, this is so cool. I should do it. But then, like, do I really want to do this? Like, do I really like Air enough to go to the concert? Do I really, am I going to dance? What am I going to do during the show? Like, all these things start going through my mind and I decided not to go. But I do
Dang.
think it's one of those things that would have been really cool to go to.
I feel you, and sometimes it's like, I don't want to go see a band perform their entire like, one entire album. Like, one of the fun things to me is getting to see a band perform like, if I've never seen them before, play a lot of different songs from
Mm.
their, catalog. But because I like this album, that would have been a really fun one for me to go to. But I get what you mean, like, that's not really a dancey it feels like something you'd sit and watch in, like,
Yeah.
a in a seat, maybe.
No, and it's not as if I need to go to shows and dance, but I feel like it does help, like, with distract you from all those other things that make going to a show sometimes an inconvenience.
Yeah, true. And it's fun to dance, but
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
So what's your song?
So, I don't know if this is gonna count.
It's your pick. Of course it
It's my
counts.
pick. So my pick this week is Homeless Wanderer from Emohoy Sege Miriam Gibru. And could it be a pop hit based on our previously mentioned definition? Sure. Subjectively, for sure. But really, I do feel like I'm cheating a bit here.
It didn't strike me as, like, radio hit when I heard it, but I do think this is, like, a perfect example of how your brain works, and that's, like, a beautiful thing because I can imagine you driving around, this comes on the radio, you're like, "Ooh, it's my
Yes.
favorite."
I know. Yeah, well, come on. I've never met a person who hears this and says, not for me. It's like everyone I've shared the song with has, I think, becomes enamored of it. It's more jazzy than, but it's catchy. It's not, yeah, not a radio hit. I get that. But for me, it's got that thing that a hit has, that ability to immediately capture you, kind of
Mm.
like hit you over the head.
Mhm.
And that it did. Like, the first time I heard it was at a dinner party, 2017, and I remember the moment it first came on. I was in the kitchen talking with my friend, and her sister was in charge of the playlist, and she was kind of standing off in the background. And I just remember, like, having to turn my head to the speaker because, like, nothing mattered at that moment. I was just like, what is coming from these speakers?
Mm.
And I felt this, like, piercing thing in my like something going into my heart, and not in a bad way, but just like it kind of took hold of it. And I had to close my eyes to concentrate because, like, I wanted to block out the noise of the other people talking. I mean, it was a party. I think it was even like maybe a New Year's Eve party.
I mean, that to me is like for an instrumental song to be able to do that, it's very powerful. That's really impressive.
This intoxicating piano was like more than music. It was sacramental. Pop music, a radio hit can be sacramental, right?
I
Like,
think so. Just
okay,
depends
okay.
on your sacrament.
Okay, exactly. So this is mine. And I mean, really, it feels like sacrilegious to even cut it off. Like, just hearing 10 seconds of it, it's not enough.
Listener, we won't be offended if you pause here, go run to look up this song and listen to it. Take 7 minutes because this song is also 7 minutes long, which I find actually very funny since we don't always pick songs that are similar in length.
No, sorry. It didn't feel 7 minutes to
Well, and
me.
that's your transcendence, you're participating in
Yeah.
the power of this song, which I love. And I don't know that I had ever heard this song before you shared it with me.
Oh, cool.
It does seem like something I would have heard. It feels to me, very nostalgic.
Mm.
And I had heard of this musician when my friend Andrew submitted one of her
Oh,
songs for a music league theme, and the theme was no guitars, and he came in second place. So
oh,
that's also a
nice.
testament that people like this music. It is very beautiful. To me, it's a little bit haunting.
Yeah, that is the perfect word for it. So The Homeless Wanderer is on volume 21 of Ethiopique with 15 of her other dreamy piano solos. And this was actually released in 2006 when Emma Hoy was 85, but she wrote it in the 60s. Christina, are you familiar with the Ethiopique series?
I feel like I've heard of it, but can you tell me more?
Yeah, so there's these 30 volumes released since 1997, and I have to recommend this documentary on Peacock. It's called Ethiopic Revolts of the Soul. And it's not a perfect documentary, but it's really it goes into the history of this series, the series of Ethiopic albums. And it's really just such a labor of love that was started by an obsessed French archivist, music lover, musicologist, Francis Falsetto. In 1985, he heard the Ethiopian jazz blues singer Mahmoud Ahmed, and the music brought him to tears. And he's like, I got to go to Ethiopia and learn more about this music. And he did. But then it took another 10 years or so of back and forth and, things going on with the political situation there and just making sure that the artists were contacted and getting the rights of the songs and just so many things involved to do it right, to do
Mm.
it the right way and make sure the artists get credit. And so that, yeah, the first album came out, but then very happy that the Emohoi album, Volume 21, was released because she was known for sure before, but he kind of like brought her to a more Western audience, which is kind of weird to say, but I think these Ethiopic albums are known for that, like kind of just reaching a wider audience.
And you said that one of the volumes is entirely dedicated to her?
Yes, yes,
Wow.
that is volume 21.
That's so cool. I was reading about her a little bit and just seeing how she had emigrated to Israel and just how her music was received and such an interesting life. I really appreciate the people who are, I mean, it feels very selfish, but like who are doing the work to be sharing all this beautiful music with the rest of the world because, for a long time, I think music too was like kind of stolen in a way
Yeah.
where someone would go to another country, hear something being performed, and then say, I like that. I'm going to do my own version of it or whatever.
Yeah.
So being able to
No.
share it straight from the artists and having the chance to let people in on that is lovely.
Yeah, her story. Well, you mentioned she ended up going to Israel in 1984 and she died there in 2023 before her 100th birthday.
Wow.
Emily's father was a diplomat. She went to boarding school in Switzerland and Cairo, where she studied piano and violin. And she was offered a place at London's Royal Academy of Music, but the government wouldn't let her leave. So at 21 ish, she actually became a nun in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And she was truly committed to a monastic life, going barefoot and like without her piano for 10 years.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, but and look at what she's created, and she has so many songs to her name. And you know how I always like to talk about music in movies.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
I was
see?
wondering if that would come up.
Yeah, it came up. it's, it's coming up. So, did you see the 2021 Rebecca Hall film Passing?
I don't know.
If you had seen it, you'd remember. It's just really like uses this piece in such an artful way. I mean, you said haunting, and it haunts the entire movie. And actually, like in an interview about her vision for the film, Hall said she wanted to make the movie feel like this piece of music.
Hmm.
I mean, the movie's interesting, but I think it's worth watching just to see how she uses that. And I think it's Emma Hoy's use of rubato, which is the slowing down and speeding up. It's like a very expressive style of playing. It's funny because rubato makes me think of robot, but it's like anything but robotic. And to me, that's what moves me so deeply about this piece, Homeless Wanderer, but her music in general. It's weird because I tend to hear music, and I've been criticized for this before in dance lessons, but I naturally hear music faster than most people. So then I'm moving to it faster, or maybe I'm just nervous. I don't know. Probably it's a little bit of both. I've been told, slow down, listen to the music. And I'm like, I'm listening to it. But I feel like the way she plays is how I feel the music. This is as close to a sacred experience as I'm going to get.
Amen, sis.
So her family runs the Emohoi Sege Miriam Music Foundation, which provides music education to children in underserved communities through music scholarships, camps, and other programs. And they're actually in the process of making a documentary of her life. And there's even a GoFundMe at the website too. So you can donate to the children's music programs I just gave to it.
Oh,
We'll put it in our show notes in case anyone would like to contribute to this project.
that's so beautiful. I'm really happy to hear that. I'm sure it would be a fascinating documentary. I'd love to learn about her.
Yeah, because one thing about the Peacock documentary was that they don't feature Emma Hoy at all.
Oh,
I mean, they
weird.
feature a lot of really amazing musicians, but they didn't get to her. So
And she has a whole
we
volume
yeah,
dedicated to
no,
her.
we need more about her. She's
We
got a
have a
fascinating life.
Wow, we really got into it, into the deep weeds with our instrumental picks, and I love that. It's fun to do a little bit of heavy exploration with each of the songs that we pick.
No, I know. Thank you for that. And
Yeah,
thank you
thank
for
you.
your generosity in letting me interpret the theme as I would like to.
Oh, always. If it ever really gets out of hand, I will call you out on it. But until then, please interpret away. So I think that's it for this week's episode. Christine, do you want to give us a preview of what we'll be talking about next week?
In honor of International Women's Day, we're doing protest songs, baby.
Ooh, let's show
We're
them
gonna
what
need
we
that.
got. Yeah, we're definitely going to need it.
Get ready.
Ah, all right.
Thanks for listening to Stereo Thematica. If you enjoyed what you heard, we'll only get better.
Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform and follow us on Instagram where you can share your favorite instrumental song that could have been a hit.
And visit stereothematica.blog for more fun.